Next up, the CarBuyer Advisor, your first place to turn for everything automotive.
Now, in real estate, they say the most important thing is location, location, location. In body repairs, they should say the most important thing is quality, quality, quality. Some of us have become very attached to our cars. They become an expression of who we are. And then in a blink, someone backs into it. Or a grocery cart rolls into it in a parking lot. Or even worse, a dreaded accident. Your stomach sinks every time you see the damage. Get it fixed correctly, and you'll forget that it ever happened. The last thing you want is to still see where it happened every time you approach your vehicle, even after you had it repaired. Make the wrong choice here, and you'll end up spending thousands replacing it with another car just to get rid of the memory. Want it done right the first time? Then pay close attention to our next guest. I have personally used this business's services for almost 2 decades. It's a pleasure to introduce Gil Grieve, owner of Concours Auto Body. Gil, thanks for being here with us today.
Morning, Mitch.
Start, if you will, by giving our listeners a little history of your business and how you got into the body repair business.
Starting my 28th year, pretty much needed a job as a kid. Went to work for a body shop, enjoyed it, got the passion for the car at a young age. Started out in 1985, I purchased Concours Body Shop, and in 1989, we moved it from the Sunshine Lane location to the Telegraph Street location.
And you've been there now for, you said, 20, how many years?
Yeah, since 1989, so long time.
Now, after you've repaired a car, the most visible part is the finish or the paint work. But you and I both have been in the industry long enough to know that what's underneath it is even more important. A lot of businesses make claims about how well trained their technicians are, but you walk into your showroom and you can see the certifications and plaques on the wall. In most shops, I've noticed that they train one individual or certify that individual to work on a specific component only. You mentioned that's not enough when it comes to the standard training and education for your staff. So take a moment and share with our listeners your take on that subject.
Well, it's the industry I'm in, the collision repair industry, is going to what they call the team concept or the lean concept, which is a great concept, but I still have better success for a quality product using one person to do the complete job. I still am not convinced that the team concept gets me a quality product in a timely manner.
So what you're saying or alluding to here is that in a lot of your competitor shops, one person does maybe the suspension and then another one installs a fender.
Correct.
And they're each trained in one part of it. But what you're finding is that one person that's trained in every category, that's competent in every category, will take that job from start to finish and ultimately end up with a superior finished product.
Yes, I believe that.
I just wanted our listeners to really understand what that means, because it shows in the quality, and you know that something is going on behind the doors, that every time your product comes out finished, it looks so professionally done, and it's not just the surface. You can look behind it if you've got a trained eye, and you can see that that's true deep into the crevices. Now, I'm guessing that level of competence also would explain why you're an authorized body and repair center by so many different insurance companies. Share with our listeners what it really means when you're designated as an authorized collision repair facility by different insurance companies, and how many companies have accredited your shop?
We've got 6 insurance company repair program shop. Basically, what that means is we have ongoing education, that our customer service is great. I mean, they really expect great customer service, quality repairs in a timely manner. It's what it's all about.
So doing the job right, doing it right the first time, because they'll check to see if the consumers aren't satisfied, they'll stop using your shop. You gain that accreditation. It's not like you get it automatically and then you get to keep or lose it. You have to earn it first. They have to have somebody come in, use your shop, be satisfied with it, and over and over and over, and then finally they'll accredit you as a shop that they support.
That is correct.
That they recommend their insureds go to in the event of a collision.
Certain companies I work for, their number one criteria is my customer service.
And that makes sense. I mean, 6 different companies. I know that there's a lot of body shops that have a few, but 6 is an outstanding number. It's just about every major insurance company in our area. Now, I mentioned the underneath is where things really matter. And tell me, our listeners, a little bit about inside the credentials. There's different areas. One of them being the structural repair. And take a minute, if you will, and elaborate on the different credentials that are areas of a car that they're trained on.
Cars are kind of like homes. They have to have a good foundation. I mean, what looks on the outside is just the looks. It's what's underneath that really matters. I'm a big structure guy. My people I hire are big structure guys. We have, aluminum technicians. We have the new cars all come with very, very high tensile strength product. And some of this we cannot straighten. We have to change. And you can't just section in. You have to change a complete component. The education of these new cars is ongoing. Every year they change in a different way, putting different structure components in different areas. We have to know where they are.
And this structural rigidity, the structural integrity, is what happens is where it really matters if they should wind up with an impact in that same area again. And how important is that in that situation?
Well, that dreaded second collision. We can always make a structure component look good, but does it have its structural integrity if we need it again? And that's the most important part.
And that's why the underneath is so important, and you want to choose a proper shop to make those repairs.
That is correct. That is correct.
Just on the outside is not all that counts. When I introduced you, I was talking about quality, and I'd like our audience to get a better picture of where that really starts in the repair process. And take a moment, if you will, and talk about how important the preparation is when it comes to a finished product. Like some shops will tape trim moldings off instead of removing them. Even the sanding process that you go through. Talk a little bit about that, if you will.
We prefer to disassemble the car for any refinish work due to the fact that we can clean it, we can sand it. If we can clean it and sand it, for the most part, we're assured it'll adhere or stick. So it won't come back to be a warranty issue down the road.
So you're not it's not the old days where when you paint your car, your molding's going to come out painted for $39.95. We'll paint any car. You take the panel off. You take the moldings off. You don't mask tape them.
Our standard is to disassemble the car for the refinish process, yes.
And so, folks, I just want you to understand, we say on this show a lot, there's a value, there's a paradigm we're asking you to search for where the quality and the price match. And the lowest price is not always the best deal if you have to redo that job or if your safety is at risk because of the repair job being done improperly. It's worth a little bit more to have it done right. And we're not talking about paying too much either. There's that balance, getting the proper job done, the quality job done fairly, and that's what this shop does. And you mentioned a moment ago that today there are a multitude of materials used in the production process, from aluminum to composites. And what types of materials will you work with?
We'll work on anything. Our education on goes, and we have people that we can do it all, from Corvettes to Audis to Mercedes-Benzes to domestics, Europeans.
Classic cars,
if you so desire, sure.
Now, I found out recently, which I wasn't aware of, that you do more than cars. What else can you fix?
We do motorhomes to a degree, mostly just cosmetic stuff on motorhomes. Motorcycles, we do a lot of motorcycles.
And collision repairs on those as well?
Yes, we do. Collision repair motorcycles is becoming a very large thing just due to the population that ride anymore.
Well, and I don't want to take a moment, if I can, and ask you a question on that subject. So you've got some of these motorcycles with some real fancy custom paint jobs on the gas tank, or even some of these trucks that maybe somebody bought one and they don't know where it was originally purchased or painted, and they've just nicked it up, and they really want that original paint job to be matched. And you can do custom paint work as well?
Yes, we can. We have very good success with the repair of custom paint work as well as doing custom paint work.
Now, should you find yourself in the need of body and paint repairs, do yourself a favor. Have it done properly. The quality should be your top priority, followed by a fair price for that work. We talk about that a lot. When the work is complete, your love affair with your car will be restored. Proper repairs can not only affect your safety, they can have a significant impact on the resale value of your vehicle as well. We talked about that too. If you want it done right, use the right people. Use Concours Auto Body. You'll be glad you did. And be sure to tell them you heard about them on the CarBuyer Advisor. Please tell them, Gil, if you would, how they can reach you.
We're at 240 Telegraph Street in between Mill and Gregg on Telegraph. You can get a hold of us on the web at concoursbodyshop.net. Our phone number is 329-4557.
And you can also find them on our preferred business page on our website, thecarbuyeradvisor.com. Gil Grieve, Concours Auto Body, thanks for being here today, and we hope to have you back on a future show.
Mitch, thank you.